Hello students, welcome to the statistics class. So in the previous section we dealt with the definition of movements, definition of skewness, the types of skewness, positive skewness, negative skewness, or positively skewed distribution, negatively skewed distribution, and a symmetric distribution. We also dealt with two formulae for coefficient of skewness, that is Karl Pearson's coefficient of skewness and Paulli's coefficient of skewness, and also skewness based on movements. So in today's session we shall look at few examples on Karl Pearson's coefficient of skewness. So here we have an example which is a discrete data. So these are the x values 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7. Frequency values 10, 18, 30, 25, 12, 3, 2. So we have two formulae for Karl Pearson's method. One which uses mode value and one which uses the median value. So before applying the Karl Pearson's method, we have to check whether the given distribution is unimodal or not. So here we observe the highest frequency. There is only one highest frequency, that is 30, and the value corresponding to it is 3. Hence, for discrete data, the mode value is the x value corresponding to the highest frequency. So here highest frequency is 30 and the corresponding x value is 3. Therefore, the mode value is 3. Hence, the distribution is unimodal. Now, we confirm that we can go for this formula here. That is, Karl Pearson's skewness is given by x bar minus mode divided by standard deviation. So we find out the value of mean and standard deviation by using the formula. X bar is equal to summation of fx by n. So n value, the total of the frequency is 100, f into x, that is 10 into 1 is 10, 18 into 2 is 36, 30 into 3 is 90, 25 into 4 is 100, 12 into 5 is 60, 3 into 6 is 18 and 2 into 7 is 14. The total of this column is 328. Therefore, summation of fx divided by n, 328 divided by 100, that is equal to 3.28. Similarly, we go for the standard deviation formula. So the standard deviation formula, there are three formulae here. We can choose any one of them. So for the more convenience here, I have chosen this formula. So sigma is equal to root of summation of f into x square divided by n minus summation of fx by n whole square. So substituting the values of fx and n here, and we find another column here, f into x square, which yields the results, and the total is 1258. So summation of fx square by n is 1258 divided by 100 minus 328 by 100 whole square, which finally results into 1.3497. So we have the formula, we have the results for mean as 3.28, standard deviation as 1.3497, and the mode value is 3. So substituting the values of mean, mode and standard deviation in this formula, we have 3.28 minus 3 is equal to, divided by 1.3497, which you will see the result 0.2075. Now here the value is a positive value. Therefore, we conclude that the distribution is positively skewed. So we have another example here, that of a continuous data. So class intervals are 5 to 15, 15 to 25, 25 to 35, 35 to 45, 45 to 55, 55 to 65, and the frequencies are 20, 5, 15, 5, 35, 20. So again we are computing the Karl Pearson's coefficient of skewness for this distribution here. So like I told in the previous problem, we have to again check whether the distribution is a unimodal distribution or not. So we look into the frequency column here, we have the value 35 and it is the only highest frequency here. So 35 corresponds to the class interval 45 to 55. So we confirm that this distribution is unimodal. So we can go for this formula here, that is Karl Pearson's coefficient of skewness is equal to x bar minus mode divided by standard deviation. Now let us solve all the formulae one by one. So first we see that since it's a continuous distribution, we calculate mean and standard deviation such that we use the formula of mean as x bar is equal to a plus summation of f into u dash divided by n into c, and standard deviation is equal to summation of f into u dash square divided by n minus summation of f u dash divided by n whole square into c, so that this u dash can be applicable for both mean as well as standard deviation. So here in this table the value of u dash is x minus a divided by c. In place of a we are substituting 30, and in place of c we are taking the value 10. A is the assumed value and c is the common difference between the x values, any two consecutive x values. So we compute the u dash column here. So 10 minus 30 divided by 10, the answer is minus 2. 20 minus 30 divided by 10, the answer is minus 1. 30 minus 30 divided by 10 is 0. 40 minus 30 divided by 10 is 1. 50 minus 30 divided by 10 is 2, and 60 minus 30 divided by 10 is 3. So we have obtained our u dash values. So for the formula of mean we need summation of f into u dash divided by n. We already know the n here, that is the total of the frequencies, that is 100. Next, now we need to multiply u dash with f. So 20 into minus 2 is minus 40, 5 into minus 1 is minus 5, 15 into 0 is 0, 5 into 1 is 5, 35 into 2 is 70, and 20 into 3 is 60. So adding all the values we get the final answer as 90. So therefore the mean formula is given by a plus summation of f into u dash divided by n into c. So that is 30 plus 90 by 100 into 10. So that is the answer 39. Therefore the value of mean here is x bar is equal to 39. Next we go for standard deviation. So we have this formula here. So here we already have the column summation of f u dash divided by n. So we need to compute the column f into u dash square. So square all the u dash values here and then multiply them with the frequency column. So minus 2 square is 4. 4 into 20 is 80. Next, minus 1 square is 1. 1 into 5 is 5. This will be obviously 0. Next, 1 square into 5 is 5. 2 square 4. 4 into 35 is 140. 3 square 9. 9 into 20 is 180. And adding this column we get the answer as 410. Therefore substituting the values here, 410 divided by 100 minus 90 divided by 100 whole square into c. That gives you the result sigma is equal to 18.138. So this is our mean value and standard deviation value. Now coming to the mode value. So first we identify the modal class here. So before that we identify the highest frequency. The highest frequency here is 35. So that will be your FM. So the class corresponding to this highest frequency is 45 to 55. So 45 to 55 is our modal class. Okay. So once we have obtained the modal class, we shall go for the mode value by the formula z is equal to L plus Fm minus F1 divided by 2 into Fm minus F1 minus F2 into C, where Fm is the frequency of the modal class, F1 is the frequency preceding the modal class, that is 5, and F2 is the frequency succeeding the modal class, that is 20. So 35 minus 5 divided by 70 minus 5 minus 20 into C. C is the width of the modal class, that is 10. So substituting here we get the answer 51.666. So now at last substituting all these three values of mean, mode and standard deviation in the formula here. So we have 39 minus 51.666 divided by 18.138. So the answer here is minus 0.69. We observe that here the value is a negative value. Hence, the distribution is negatively skewed. Okay, so let us look at another example here of a continuous distribution. The class intervals are 0 to 4, 4 to 8, 8 to 12, 12 to 16 and 16 to 20. The frequencies are 10, 25, again 25, 12, 8. So again we have to check whether the given distribution is unimodal or not. So if we look at the frequency column here, we observe that there are two highest frequencies here, 25 and again 25. So for this distribution we cannot go for the Karl-Pearson's formula, that is mean minus mode divided by standard deviation. So we have another formula here, that is 3 into mean minus median divided by standard deviation. So when the distribution is not unimodal and you have to calculate the coefficient of skewness, then we have to go for, instead of mode, we have to compute the median formula here. So let us look at the formula one by one. So mean is equal to summation of fx divided by n. So fx, that is f into x here, that is 10 into 2, 25 into 6, 25 into 10, 12 into 14, 8 into 18. Those results in 20, 150, 200, 168 and 144 respectively. The total of this column is 732. So therefore summation of fx by n is equal to 732 by 80, which results into 9.15. So the value of mean for this distribution is 9.15. Next, the formula for standard deviation is given by square root of summation of f into x square divided by n minus summation of fx divided by n whole square. We already have found this column here, summation of fx by n. So we need to find the column f into x square. So we need to square the x values and then we need to multiply them with the respective frequencies. So 2 square is 4, 4 into 10 is 40, 6 square is 36, 36 into 25 is 900, 10 square is 100, 100 into 25 is 2500, 14 square is 196, 196 into 12 is 2352, and lastly 18 square into 8 results into 2592. So if we take the total of this column, it is 8384. So substituting the same values here, so we have 384 divided by 80 minus 732 by 80 whole square. So that results into sigma is equal to 4.591. So the value of standard deviation here is 4.591. Next, now we have to compute the median formula here. So the median formula here has 3 steps. First we need to calculate the less than cumulative frequencies, that is the LCF. So 10 as it is, 10 plus 25, 35, 35 plus 25, 60, 60 plus 12, 72, 72 plus 8 is 80. So after computing the LCF, we need to compute n by 2, that is 80 by 2. 80 by 2 is 40. So using this 40, we have to find the median class here. So median class is the class corresponding to the LCF, which is just greater than or equal to n by 2. So in the LCF column, we have to find out the value 40 or the value which is just greater than 40. So we don't have a 40 here, but the next greater value other than 40 is 60. So 60, class corresponding to 60 is 8 to 12. Therefore our median class is 8 to 12. Therefore the median formula is given by L plus n by 2 minus CF divided by F into C, that is 8 plus 10, so 8 plus 40 minus 35 divided by 25 into 4, which yields into the result 8.8. That is median is equal to 8.8. Next, now we come to the formula of skewness. Therefore the value of skewness will be given by 3 into mean minus median divided by sigma, that is 3 into 9.15 minus 8.8 divided by 4.591. That results into 0.228. So for the given distribution, the value of skewness is 0.228. Here the value is a positive value. Therefore, we can conclude that the distribution is positively skewed. So remember one thing. First, we need to check the frequencies here. Okay. If there are more than one highest frequency, then we have to immediately switch to this formula. That is, instead of computing the mode, we have to compute the median and we have to apply this formula here. Okay. So this is the positively skewed distribution.